Good morning everyone. In the last session we have studied introductory part of excretion. Okay, we have learned about what is excretion, then what is osmoregulation, homeostasis and which are the different main nitrogenous waste. Okay, so उसमें हम लोग ने nitrogenous waste में क्या क्या स्टडी किया था? Amino acids in detail, then urea, uric acid, ammonia. Okay, now we'll be completing rest all nitrogenous waste. So total 11 nitrogenous waste we have already jotted down. Okay, so we'll be continuing further with the next nitrogenous waste, that is trimethylamine oxide. Okay, trimethylamine oxide, what is that? It is the nitrogenous waste which is soluble in water. Okay, so it is soluble in water. Ammonia is also soluble in water, but ammonia is highly toxic, wherein trimethyl oxide, which is nitrogenous waste, it is soluble in water but not at all toxic. Okay, and it is formed due to methylation of ammonia. So ammonia का methylation होके क्या बनता है? Trimethylamine, and trimethylamine undergoes oxidation to form trimethylamine oxide. Okay, so how trimethylamine oxide is formed? Trimethylamine oxide is formed due to methylation of ammonia, and when the methylation of ammonia takes place, there is formation of trimethylamine, and this trimethylamine will undergo oxidation, and likewise there will be formation of trimethyl oxide, which is denoted as TMO. So TMO का speciality क्या है? It is soluble in water but it is not toxic, wherein we have studied ammonia, which is also one of the main nitrogenous waste which is formed in aquatic animals, most of the aquatic animals, right? And it is excreted out of the body of those organisms when there is much amount of water. Okay, because ammonia is highly toxic, so उसको remove करने के लिए ज़्यादा water की ज़रूरत रहती है. Got it? But here TMO, that is trimethyl oxide, is not toxic. It is soluble in water, so it will be easily removed out of the body. Got it? Then where which of the organisms will show the trimethyl oxide excretion? Marine teleodes such as ray finned fishes. आपको पता रहेगा stingrays, okay, electric rays. So these are the organisms which excrete nitrogenous waste in the form of trimethyl oxide. Then molluscans and crustaceans also excrete to some extent trimethyl oxide. So all of you understood how trimethyl oxide is formed. Trimethyl oxide is formed due to methylation of the ammonia, and due to methylation of the ammonia, trimethylamine will be formed. Trimethylamine will get oxidized to form trimethylamine oxide. Okay, and it is formed in three groups of organisms: marine teleodes, that is ray finned fishes, molluscans and crustaceans. Got it? Now we'll switch over to the another type of nitrogenous waste, that is allantoin. Okay, allantoin is the nitrogenous waste which is formed in the amniote embryo. Okay, what are amniotes? Amniotes are the organisms which will form amnion, which is the embryonic membrane around the embryo. So during embryonic development, in those organisms there will be formation of amnion, which is the embryonic membrane, which will protect the embryo from mechanical injury. Got it? So in those organisms there is formation of nitrogenous waste in the form of allantoin. Okay, और ये जो allantoin है वो कैसे बनता है? It is formed due to oxidation of uric acid. यूरिक एसिड का ऑक्सीडेशन करने के लिए एक एंजाइम की ज़रूरत रहती है, and that enzyme is uricase enzyme. Okay, so uricase enzyme is the enzyme which will bring about oxidation of the uric acid, and likewise there will be formation of allantoin. So what is allantoin? It is the nitrogenous waste or else excretory waste of the embryo of amniotes. Okay, so amniotic embryo में नाइट्रोजनस वेस्ट जो फॉर्म होता है वो कौन से फॉर्म में फॉर्म होता है? allantoin. Got it? And allantois is the sac-like structure which is produced in the embryo. Okay, and in this sac-like structure this allantoin nitrogenous waste will be stored, as well as this sac, allantois sac, is also responsible for exchange of gases. Okay, so amniotic embryo में एक sac like structure रहता है, that is allantois, and in that sac like structure whatever allantoin which is formed by the embryo, that will be stored for some time. Okay, and when it becomes excess, then it will be eliminated out of the body of the fetus through mother's blood. Okay, so through mother's blood it will be removed out of the body of fetus as well as of mother. Got it? So ये sac like structure है, उसमें क्या stored रहता है? allantoin, as well as allantois sac is also responsible for exchange of gases. Okay, so this is also one of the type of excretion which is only seen in amniotic embryo. So all of you understood what is allantoin? Allantoin is the nitrogenous waste which is formed due to oxidation of uric acid. Okay, so uric acid का oxidation होता है in presence of uricase and allantoin is formed. Got it? And where it will be stored for some time? Allantois, which is the sac-like structure present in the embryo of amniotes. Got it? Now, next nitrogenous waste, that is hippuric acid. Okay, hippuric acid. Hippuric acid is also one form of nitrogenous waste which is formed in mammals. We have studied majorly mammals excrete nitrogenous waste in the form of urea. They are ureotelic. Okay, and to some extent they can also produce uric acid. When they can produce uric acid? When there is excess amount of purines, that is adenine and guanine. Okay, we have studied in this in the last session all these details. Okay, so mammals में urea is the major nitrogenous waste which is excreted, then followed by that uric acid to some extent, and to some extent they can also excrete nitrogenous waste in the form of hippuric acid. Okay, and this hippuric acid, how it is formed? It is formed due to reaction between benzoic acid and glycine. Okay, so benzoic acid is the acid which is present in the food. Okay, so जो mammals food consume करते हैं उसमें benzoic acid अगर रहेगा, that benzoic acid is not good for the health. Okay, so this benzoic acid which is there, it will be removed by the body. Okay, how it will be removed by the body? Through reaction between the glycine and benzoic acid. Okay, so benzoic acid पहले separate किया जाता है food में का, and this benzoic acid which is there, it will react with glycine. Okay, so glycine is one amino acid. अगर body में excess glycine हो गया, तो this excess glycine amino acid reacts with the benzoic acid. Okay, and likewise hippuric acid is formed. All of you understood how hippuric acid is formed? Hippuric acid is formed due to reaction between benzoic acid and glycine, and where it takes place? In mammals. So in mammals, three forms of nitrogenous waste can be produced. Majorly urea तो बनता ही है, followed by sometimes if the purines are more, uric acid is also formed, as well as to some extent hippuric acid is also formed in mammals. Then another form of nitrogenous waste, that is ornithuric acid. Okay, ornithuric acid is the nitrogenous waste which is formed in birds. So birds में ये form होता है ornithuric acid, and how it is formed? It is formed due to reaction between benzoic acid and ornithine. So benzoic acid is present in the food which is consumed by the birds. Okay, so birds के food में जो benzoic acid रहता है, firstly it will be removed and whatever excess amino acid, अगर उनके body में excess amino acid ornithine हो गया, ornithine अगर extra है, so that ornithine will react with benzoic acid and there will be formation of ornithuric acid. Okay, so thus ornithine is amino acid which is involved in formation of ornithuric acid. Okay, so ornithuric acid is the nitrogenous waste which is produced in birds. Okay, then another form of nitrogenous waste, that is creatinine. Okay, creatinine is the nitrogenous waste which is also formed to some extent in mammals. Okay, so कैसे फॉर्म होता है ये क्रिएटिनिन? ड्यू टू रिएक्शन बिटवीन द 3 अमाइनो एसिड्स. 3 अमाइनो एसिड्स कौन कौन से? ग्लाइसिन, अर्जिनिन एंड मीथायोनिन. GAM, गाम, ऐसे याद रखो. ओके, ग्लाइसिन, अर्जिनिन, मीथायोनिन, इनमें रिएक्शन होता है एंड this reaction takes place in the liver and likewise there will be formation of creatinine. You all know very well, in mammals urea which is there, it is formed due to reaction between carbon dioxide and ammonia, and where this reaction takes place? In the liver. Okay, got it? So similar way, in the liver another nitrogenous waste, that is creatinine, will also be formed. Okay, so in mammals nitrogenous waste majorly कौन सा है? यूरिया. Okay, sometimes uric acid, then hippuric acid and creatinine. Okay, so hippuric acid, creatinine negligible amount में फॉर्म होता है और उससे थोड़ा क्वांटिटी में ज़्यादा यूरिक एसिड, एंड सबसे ज़्यादा नाइट्रोजनस वेस्ट जो मैमल्स प्रोड्यूस करते हैं वो क्या है? यूरिया. दैट्स व्हाई दे आर यूरियोटेलिक. So remember, in mammals urea, uric acid, hippuric acid, creatinine. These are the nitrogenous wastes which are formed in mammals. Got it? So then last type of nitrogenous waste is bilirubin and biliverdin. Bilirubin and biliverdin you must have heard. What are those? Bilirubin and biliverdin are bile pigments. Those are the bile pigments. And these bile pigments are present in the bile juice. And how these bile pigments are formed? These bile pigments are formed due to breakdown of RBCs. Whatever worn out RBCs which are there, these will be destroyed by the Kupffer cells of the liver. Okay, so liver के जो Kupffer cells रहते हैं, which are amoeboid in nature, with the help of phagocytosis, they will engulf the worn out RBCs. And जैसे ही worn out RBCs को वो engulf कर लेते हैं, they will destroy the RBC. And RBC में जो hemoglobin रहता है, it will come out. And this hemoglobin which is there, it will be further broken down, okay, into bilirubin and biliverdin. अभी RBC ही नहीं रहे तो hemoglobin का क्या काम है? So this hemoglobin has to be destroyed, and this hemoglobin will be destroyed by the Kupffer cells, and likewise there will be formation of bilirubin and biliverdin. Okay, and whatever bilirubin and biliverdin which is formed in the liver, it will enter in the bile juice. आपको पता है liver क्या बनाता है? Bile juice. So while producing bile juice, this bilirubin and biliverdin also gets entered in the bile juice. Okay, bilirubin, biliverdin are the waste. They are of no use for our body. So they will be excreted out of the body through fecal matter. So fecal matter is yellow in color. Why it is yellow in color? Because of the bilirubin and biliverdin. Bilirubin and biliverdin are yellowish green in color. So that's why fecal matter is yellowish in color. Okay, but when the person suffers from jaundice, what exactly happens? there is excess destruction of RBCs, and if there is excess destruction of RBCs, there will be excess breakdown of the hemoglobin. ज़्यादा हीमोग्लोबिन का ब्रेकडाउन होगा, और ज़्यादा हीमोग्लोबिन का ब्रेकडाउन हुआ तो व्हाट विल बी फॉर्म्ड इन मोर क्वांटिटी? Bile pigments, bilirubin and biliverdin. Okay, so if bilirubin and biliverdin are produced in large quantity, so they will enter in the bloodstream. Got it? So bile juice will also have bilirubin and biliverdin, and in addition to that they will find its way in the bloodstream, and everywhere these bilirubin and biliverdin will spread in our body, because blood is the circulatory fluid. Okay, so blood circulatory fluid है तो blood के साथ ये bilirubin biliverdin सब जगह पे जाएगा, and bilirubin and biliverdin are yellowish greenish pigments, so there will be yellowing of the eyes, yellowing of the mucosal lining, yellowing of the skin, nails. Okay, and whitish stools will be excreted by the person who is suffering from jaundice. So all of you understood bilirubin and biliverdin, which are also nitrogenous waste. Okay, and these are the bile pigments because they enter in the bile juice, but they are of no use. Got it? So bilirubin and biliverdin, which is the last nitrogenous waste which we have studied. So total 11 nitrogenous waste we have studied, starting from amino acid till bilirubin and biliverdin. Okay.